from today's TMJ4.
This is breaking news now.
And that breaking news, a sentence in a deadly shooting at a George Webb restaurant on the east side.
Tom Murray reports live from outside the Milwaukee County Courthouse. Tom?
Mike Carroll, the judge, called this convicted killer a liar, accusing him of trying to manipulate the system during the judicial process. The judge sentenced DeLorean Bryson to 4 decades in prison for killing a cook inside an East Side George Webb restaurant. 29-year-old DeLorean Bryson wasn't even supposed to have a gun that night in December because he was a felon on probation. Witnesses say he was belligerent and drunk inside the restaurant. Investigators say Bryson ignored pleas from others to leave after harassing customers, which he ignored, and eventually fired a shot that killed 21-year-old cook Reginald Reggie Evans. It was just days before Christmas. Here is Bryson's apology in court late today, where he asked for mercy in part because he is a father of 5 children. As you'll hear, that did not go over well with the judge.
I'm sorry that my children have to go through the situation for what I've done. I'm sorry the fact that you have to sit in this court along with my lawyer and the DAs, police officers, the news, have to sit in here for my action for what I've done.
You have children. You've expressed sorrow that you can't be with your children. And the response to that, unfortunately, is you can't ask me to give you any credit for being a father unless you're acting like a father.
The judge sentenced DeLorean Bryson to a punishment longer than what prosecutors asked for. That sentence, 42 years in prison, meaning if the full term is served, DeLorean Bryson will be more than 70 years old when he is released. Live tonight at the Milwaukee County Courthouse, Tom Murray, today's TMJ4.
Tom, thank you very much.
More breaking news now. Police wrapping up a tactical situation in Waukesha near Fleetwood Drive and Navajo Lane. There was a large police presence and they made an arrest. They have not said why the man was arrested.
And we have learned that President Obama will be in Milwaukee on Monday. He is scheduled to speak at the Labor Fest rally on the Summerfest grounds. That rally will begin with a parade at 11 a.m.
Now, a bizarre case involving a couple who've left their guns behind more than once.
He left his gun at Egg Harbor Fun Park in Door County.
A couple of months ago, she left her gun at Elmbrook Church in Brookfield.
Michelle Fiore reports from the church. This is a story that's new at 6.
We spoke with the attorney who successfully got charges against the wife dismissed. That case stemmed from here at Elmbrook Church. He tells us he has been retained to represent her husband should that become necessary. Tom Greaves' client allegedly left a loaded .380 caliber still in its holster in the men's room at Egg Harbor Fun Park. Gerald Hitchler's got a concealed carry permit, and Door County officials were going to let him just pick up his gun until they learned Hitchler's wife had a similar case this year at Elmbrook Church. Greaves says it's not a shining moment for the couple, but it's not criminal.
Our justice system is based off what did happen, not what could have happened, and that's the emphasis here. If we were to start convicting people based off potential, everybody who ever texted and drove should probably be charged and maybe arrested for possible homicide or something like that.
For gun rights advocates, it's not a good day. They believe the Hitchlers failed to act responsibly. But Nick Clark says you need only look at the state statutes to know Gerald Hitchler should not be charged.
But that's only a crime if a child does get access to it and if a child injures themselves or other by discharging that gun. And so that didn't happen in this case. So stupid, yes. Careless, yes. Criminal, I don't think so.
Charges have been referred to the Door County DA's office, but as of closing time today, charges had not been filed. In Brookfield, Michelle Fiore, today's TMJ4.
A West Dallas school bus driver has been busted in a child pornography sting. Police say he frequented websites that share disturbing pictures and videos of children engaged in sex acts. Jermont Terry reports live from West Dallas. Jermont.
Mike, neighbors will often see a school bus parked outside this house, but last week, state investigators parked here as they executed a search warrant, arresting the homeowner for child porn charges.
I have children. I live across the street. I worry my kids. I won't let them in the front yard.
Kelly Gavin worries after special agents with the Department of Justice raided William Casper's house. He's now charged with possession of child pornography.
I don't know. Is he taking pictures of my kids?
The investigation accuses Casper of going to a file-sharing network where investigators say people shared the illegal videos depicting children in sex acts. While that alone disturbs neighbors, the fact Casper drives for First Student Bus Company is even more alarming.
Are these handicapped kids that can't talk? What kind of kids is he carrying?
It turns out for 23 years he's driven special needs children to and from school in West Dallas.
Prior to today, we were unaware of these charges.
We told the district about the arrest, who quickly contacted the bus company.
And we will be making that clear to the bus company that we do not want this individual driving for our school district.
The investigation does not show any school children were targeted, but the district wants to make sure of that. You cannot sit back and do nothing in light of these allegations.
Well, absolutely. We owe it to our students, to their parents, their guardians, and our community to do something like that and do an investigation.
Casper said he never intentionally downloaded videos. Casper denied knowing most search terms pertaining to child pornography. However, investigators found images on his computer. And tonight, Casper is out on bond. He did not answer the door when we stopped by many times this afternoon. He was arrested as part of a lengthy, ongoing investigation, internet sexting by the Department of Justice. Reporting live in West Dallas, Jermont Terry, today's TMJ4.
All right, thank you, Jermont.
New information in a murder investigation in Dodge County. Police think the person of interest is Michael Solar's death may have ties to Oshkosh. Detectives released a sketch and a picture of a woman. Now, they have not released her name, but they say she is a 37-year-old mother of 4. And if you happen to know who she is or where she is, please call the Dodge County Sheriff.
The alleged getaway driver in a deadly shootout at an optical store in Fox Point was in court today. The court found there is enough evidence for Tedrick Sanders' case to go to trial. He is charged with murder because a robber was shot to death during that holdup.
Family and friends of Dontre Hamilton will march again this coming Friday. They will start at Red Arrow Park, where Hamilton was killed. The family wants police to release the name of the officer who shot Hamilton.
Now to red, white, and blue campaign coverage, and a new Marquette University Law School poll shows a very tight race for governor.
Among likely voters, 46.5% would vote for Scott Walker, 48.5% would vote for Mary Burke.
But among registered voters, Walker leads 47.5% to 44%.
Todd Hicks is live with reaction from both candidates. Todd.
Well, Mike and Carol, Governor Walker and his Democratic challenger Mary Burke talked about that poll today. The numbers show the two virtually tied.
This race could go either direction.
Charles Franklin says that's the takeaway message after new poll numbers show the race for governor remains extremely tight.
What we're seeing is almost no change over the last 3 months.
The Marquette University Law School poll of around 800 Wisconsin voters was conducted last week. Franklin says the margin of error was plus or minus 3.5%. Walker is up by about 3 points among registered voters. Mary Burke is up by 2 points among likely voters.
All of the differences are within the margin of error, and the margin between the candidates is within the margin of error.
Governor Walker and Burke weighed in on the numbers. One thing they agree on, there's no denying it's a tight race.
I've said for about a year now that I thought that statistically this would be about as close as it could be. That's bore out again with this poll.
And I've known from the start that this is going to be a really tough race, but as we go down, you know, the numbers are improving slightly among likely voters, and that was good to see.
And Mike and Carol, Franklin tells me things will really begin to heat up come Labor Day. That's when campaigning traditionally ramps up. We're live in New Berlin tonight. Todd Hicks, today's TMJ4.
Long way to go. We have complete poll results on our website, TMJ4.com.
Packers players donned denim today.
It was the annual Welcome Back Packers luncheon at Lambeau Field. There's Matt Flynn and Aaron Rodgers decked out in their denim. Each year, the players actually pick a theme to dress up in.
Tomorrow, they will host the Kansas City Chiefs in their final preseason game. Our coverage begins at 5:30, kickoff at 6, right here on today's TMJ4, your official Packers station. Coming up, Milwaukee bike lanes are going green, literally.
And we're going to walk you through the active shooter training at a local high school.
And much cooler today with that north to northeast wind. Temperature right now 69 degrees here in Milwaukee. And of course, the drier air a big plus. Looks to be another great evening like last night. Just a few clouds, very comfortable in 68 by 7, by 10, 62. By morning, 60 degrees in the city, mid-50s inland. We'll show you that 10-day outlook, which includes quite a bit of rain in just a few minutes.
Welcome back. Time Warner Cable is back online after a nationwide internet outage overnight. The company blamed it on human error. The outage affected key public safety customers like the police and hospitals that needed to be online. Of course, it affected everybody else as well. The outage lasted about 2 hours. Crews continue to work on the Well Street Bridge in downtown Milwaukee, fixing an hydraulic system that raises and lowers the bridge.
Now a story that is positively Milwaukee. Arrowhead High School's girls swim team wrapped up 24 hours of swimming today. They swam to raise money for the I Back Jack Foundation. It's a memory of Jack Bartos, who died from childhood cancer in 2012.
They are raising money and raising awareness to find a cure for childhood cancer. I think there's nothing more devastating than losing a child.
This is an annual event, and the girls get to choose which charity to give money to. One of the swimmers actually babysat for Jack and asked to help his foundation. How wonderful. Well, some bike lanes in Milwaukee are going green. Crews painted the new green bike lanes in the River West neighborhood at Locust and Humboldt. It actually spotlights the area where drivers have to move over for bicyclists. That way you can really see. That's a very good picture.
Good idea.
Yes.
Relief from the heat. The complete forecast is coming up.
Also ahead, back to school training with police. How local schools are preparing for an emergency. More news now. The holiday weekend is almost here, and with it comes a warning: buckle up and slow down, and always never drink and drive. Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputies will be out in force.
Our goal is clear. We want to make the Milwaukee County freeway system a safer place to drive. It is important for drivers to remain distraction-free and keep their minds on the task of driving.
And AAA is predicting the highest number of travelers since 2008.
Teachers at Whitnall High School took part in a training drill for an active shooter situation today. Jonah Kaplan reports from Greenfield, new at 6.
This was one interactive assignment. Policemen stepped in as professors, while Greenfield and Whitnall staff became pupils of emergency preparedness.
You know, you grow up going through fire drills and thinking about, things that could happen within your classroom.
Jay Gullickson never imagined an active shooter drill when he first started teaching 22 years ago. Today, he and his colleagues learned about combat, trauma care, and medical evacuations.
Professionals have done a great job explaining why we're doing this, and I think it's a reality of educators nowadays that this certainly might happen.
During the simulations, the teachers actually play the role of students, and here they are waiting for police to go through. Outside, police officers running through these because the training is as much for them as it is for everyone else here. Greenfield's police chief says there's still much to learn from other school shootings like Columbine and Sandy Hook.
We've learned lessons like how to apply emergency medical care early on. With the shooting in Aurora, Colorado, most of those victims were taken to the hospital by police car.
The training continues all week. The schools are planning lockdown drills for students too. In Greenfield, Jonah Kaplan, today's TMJ4.
And police in schools in Delafield and Heartland also had active shooter training today. It's one of those things you hope you never have to use, but good to know in case you do.
We have to even report on that. Well, for the past few years, 2 teachers at Union Grove High School have made creative music videos.
They're designed to get incoming freshmen excited about the school year.
That's what makes school beautiful.
Well, guess what? The teachers have made another video, and they're going to be right here in our studio. In fact, they're here right now. They're in our studio, and they're going to debut it on Wisconsin Tonight, coming up at 6:30, so you don't want to miss this.
Well, you heard it's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not done with the warm, humid weather.
Let's go over to Brian Goddard with the latest.
No, we're not, but today was a nice little treat for those of you who are tired of the humidity the last 5-6 days. We got a break. The cold front to the south of us brought us the relief last night. The high pressure to the north brought us sunshine today and a northeasterly wind, so temperatures cool and the humidity low. It's going to be another great evening. Tomorrow, however, next storm system already on the map, and it's starting to bring rain showers into the plain states and into Iowa, southern Minnesota. And by, I would say, this time tomorrow evening, we're starting to see those rain showers here locally as well. Tomorrow night, through Saturday, very heavy rain. This is a projection for 3 days out. Most of central and northern Wisconsin, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 inches of rain. Here locally, 1 to 2 inches of rain from tomorrow night through Saturday. There's going to be some heavy rain around the area and could create some flooding, especially in the central part of the state. Temperature right now, or I should say the highs today, 73 in Milwaukee, 76 in Watertown. It was 75 in Burlington, off to the west, almost 80, the Dells, Madison, and Janesville. Just a few patchy clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy outside. Just gorgeous looking out there. The temperature 69 degrees. That northeast wind keeping us cooler. Humidity at around 70%. It's 68 in West Bend, 75 in Janesville and Madison, and 73 in Beaver Dam. Another very comfortable evening out there as those dew points are low. Upper 40s to the north. They could see lows tonight right around 50 degrees. We will be in the mid 50s and lower 60s. A little bit warmer, of course, along the water. Tomorrow, another comfortable day with those low dew points, but it really starts to ramp up tomorrow night into Friday with the warm front that's going to bring us those showers and thunderstorms. Very steamy on Friday, and then Saturday, still humid, and a little bit of a break on Sunday, but still pretty much a lot of moisture in the atmosphere for Sunday afternoon. Tonight's lows, because of the dry air, back into the 50s, 60s are right close to the lakefront with a light easterly breeze. Then for tomorrow, east to southeast winds at 5 to 10, temperatures upper 60s to lower 70s near the water, lower 70s inland. The difference being clouds will be on the increase throughout the day, and a chance of rain starts to increase after, say, 2, 3 o'clock and gets even higher throughout the evening and the overnight hours. Big changes because of this warm front. By tomorrow evening, here comes the rain, especially in the Green Bay. The heaviest rains tomorrow night through Friday will be from about Stevens Point northward, and we'll see our fair share of heavy rains as well tomorrow night through, it looks like, Saturday morning. Heading up to Lambeau tomorrow, pack the rain gear. Tailgating, just a few scattered showers, mostly cloudy and 70, but as you get later into the game, a better chance of rain, and it could be heavy at times. So tonight, cloudy or partly cloudy, comfortable, a low of around 60, cooler inland. Tomorrow, 71, increase in clouds, and a good chance of showers and thunderstorms as you get later in the day. 83 and humid on Friday with a good chance of storms. Scattered storms on Saturday. Sunday looks to be the dry day for the holiday weekend, and more storms for Monday.
We got storms all over the place, don't we?
We're going to be mowing our grass like crazy.
Thanks, Brian.
You got it.
Next in sports, how Ted Thompson views the Packers' final preseason game.
Tonight's primetime lineup starts at 6:30 with Wisconsin tonight, followed by America's Got Talent, Taxi Brooklyn, then live at 10.
Today, the final practice. Players high-five the fans, and Packers training camp is officially over. Now the tough part with the final preseason game against the Chiefs. A number of starters sitting out tomorrow night. Could a younger player actually clinch a roster spot with one last impressive performance?
Yeah, it's important. Somebody shows out, they could change the ratings, But you also have to be cognizant of the fact that this is a long-term decision.
At the Packers kickoff luncheon, it's denim day for Aaron Rodgers and Matt Flynn. Nice bolo tie. We showed you this before, but it is impressive. The Western wear clearly states that the end goal is Phoenix, Arizona, and Super Bowl 49. Good news for the Brewers already. The Pirates beat the Cardinals 3-1 this afternoon, so the Brewers enter their game in San Diego against the Padres with a 2-game lead. They could stretch it to 2.5 with a win. Time for our first Frenzy Team of the Week. Rufus King gets debut honors.
Some might have seen the score, King 36, Mesmer Shorewood 19, and been shocked. Not the Generals.
Lindsay, how important is it just to get off the season with a victory and gain that confidence?
Well, getting the season off with a victory is pretty well because, most MPS schools, they pick us to, get thrashed the first couple games. But, it was a great insight on what we have in store for the rest of the season.
We wanted to just work hard and basically show these teams that we're not the typical city team where they can just, like Lindsay said, thrash us and just push us around. And we've pretty much shown that these last 2 years, winning conference 2 years in a row.
Now Rufus King has big goals throughout the regular season into the postseason.
They're not to overlook anybody, but you have pretty high goals for the playoffs and to win a playoff game.
Yeah, we set it at winning playoff games because if we just set it at winning conference, guys get kind of lazy at the end of the season. So we want to win that first playoff game.
We haven't won a playoff game since I've been born, so that's my goal, from day one. I want to win a playoff game. I want to go deep into the playoffs.
For your impressive victory over Shorewood Mesmer in Week 1, Rufus King, Generals, you are the Team of the Week. Yeah! I personally think they are headed places this year, so we'll keep tabs on them on the Frenzy. That's, of course, Friday night. We're back after this.
Fallon's guest tonight, actor Chris Rock, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and musical guest Casey Musgraves.
Finally, Harley-Davidsons will rumble into Milwaukee this weekend for the 14th annual Milwaukee Rally. Now, this is considered to be the largest free motorcycle rally in the Midwest. 5 Harley dealers are taking part. There's even a custom bike show at the Harley-Davidson Museum tomorrow. The rally starts tomorrow, but it will run through Monday.
Let's hope they bring their rain gear.
Exactly. They don't get rumbles. Exactly. Aha! 68 by 7 o'clock, 62 by 10, and by morning we'll be in the upper 50s around most of the area. Then the rain moves in late tomorrow, so please wear a hat. We don't want to see that hair messed up.
I just meant you got her, not the weather, about rumbling.
Well, you're going to be at the game tomorrow, so you better
I better stay
dress
dry
appropriately.
or shellac my hair, one or the other, the way it sounds.
I thought you already did.
Yeah, I usually
Thank you,
do.
Carol.
Thanks for joining us at 6.
Thanks, Carol.
I need more, though.